NASCAR returns this weekend, and Team Penske makes a key personnel change. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Friday, folks. It is a very happy Friday indeed. You're not wiping this smile off my face. NASCAR is back this weekend. Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse, the Clash. This is a two-day event. May I remind you, tomorrow night, Saturday night, FS1, practice qualifying, and then the heat races, Sunday afternoon and evening, the last chance qualifier, and then the Clash main event, both on Big Fox. 2 nights of action. Don't forget, screenshot this graphic, because if you're like me, 2 days ago, I didn't even know there was Saturday night racing. I completely forgot. Had to clear my schedule. 2 nights of NASCAR Cup Series action. We are so back. There are a few drivers that are worth watching, I believe. Some of the modified guys, obviously Tim Brown, Burt Myers, modified champions, Bowman Gray champions, both making their Cup Series debuts. Neither are with powerhouse teams. Tim Brown driving for Rick Ware Racing, Burt Myers, Team Amerivet. But if they can make the main event through their heats, through the LCQ, that would be a huge win, an incredible accomplishment. I hope it happens. That would be an awesome storyline. Ryan Preece, another modified driver, making his RFK Racing debut. Bowman Gray is a quarter-mile flat track, just like the LA Memorial Coliseum the past 3 years. Now, weather conditions quite different. Going to be chilly in Winston-Salem. The track surface a bit different as well, but Ryan Preece, we know he's a great flat track racer. A couple years ago with Stuart Haas, he had a top 5 car in the Clash. Turned some heads. I know RFK often struggled in Los Angeles, but maybe Ryan Preece can start off strong with his new race team. Another name worth watching is Kyle Busch. That Richard Childress Racing number 8 Chevy, led by crew chief Randall Burnett, was among the class of the field all 3 years the Clash was held in Los Angeles. In 2022, the 8 was the fastest car on the track, but a mechanical failure unfortunately sent Tyler Reddick to the garage. But in 2023 and 2024, Kyle Busch drove that 8 to a podium finish, collected a couple of Olympic medals. What can Kyle Busch and Randall Burnett do this year at a very similar type track, Bowman Gray Stadium? And finally, my pick to win is Christopher Bell. I know he wasn't having much fun at the Coliseum, but fresh start here at Bowman Gray, and Joe Gibbs Racing has won the last 2 Clashes, both quarter mile, both flat tracks. I expect Joe Gibbs Racing to be difficult to beat this time around as well. Christopher Bell has Adam Stevens, probably the best crew chief at Gibbs right now, especially with Gabe Hart now as competition director, should elevate the whole team. I like Christopher Bell to win. JGR will be tough to beat, looking for a 3-peat, but Kyle Busch, he'll make some noise, and some of the modified guys may turn some heads. There you go. There's my quick, abbreviated Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium preview. Give me your picks down in the comment section below. Who wins the inaugural 2025 NASCAR Cup Series event? Again, the heat races on Saturday will be shown on FS1. All of Sunday's action will be on Big Fox. But you can also watch your favorite driver's POV and listen to their real-time scanner audio if you have a subscription to Max. Max, formerly known as HBO Max streaming service, part of NASCAR's new media rights deal. Yesterday, they unveiled the NASCAR Driver Cam experience, an exclusive feature that will be available for every single Cup Series race this season. Every driver's POV camera feed will be available live, as will their real-time scanner audio, and Max will also have real-time telemetry and leaderboard information. But this is the feature I'm very excited about. Fans will be able to pause, rewind each driver's camera feed, and a replay of every driver's POV will be available to watch after the race is over. TV does a good job of showing us the bigger picture, but they can't show us every little detail when there's 40 cars on track and the broadcast is crammed into a 4-hour window. So having access to every driver's POV and their scanner audio after the race just made Mondays much more interesting. So many more details, small rivalries, back and forth moments, so many more storylines will now be available to the public. So many small details that TV is incapable of covering week in, week out will now be out in the open or available for fans on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to go back and discover. Rewatch multiple angles of certain incidents, get the full story. I am super excited about this feature. Again, it is exclusive to Max, so you have to subscribe to the Max streaming service to have access, but that feature alone makes my subscription worth it. I'm not sponsored or anything. I know everyone's budgets are different, but I am very much looking forward to using this feature post-race throughout the 2025 season. Now, before we wrap up this week, some breaking news today out of Team Penske. The team released a statement. Team Penske announced today that Tim Cindric has decided to step back as the overall day-to-day leader of Team Penske's racing programs. Tim will remain as the president of Team Penske's IndyCar efforts and have oversight to the team's racing archives and historical assets. Cindric said, quote, "I have lived my dream job for the past 25 years as the overall leader of the Penske racing organization. I've decided I need to make a change that provides me with the flexibility I need at this stage of my career." So, Tim Cindric has been the captain, Roger Penske's right-hand man, for years. The timing of this announcement is odd. Sure, they announced it technically during the IndyCar and NASCAR off seasons, but they waited until the last day of the NASCAR off season. Like, I'm pretty sure there's going to be media at Bowman Gray tomorrow, and I know the first question everyone is going to ask Tim Cindric's son, Austin Cindric. I already see fans scheming, plotting, rubbing their hands together. Could we see a change over at the number 2 team? Look, I'm skeptical that this Tim Cindric news is going to have any immediate impact on Austin's driving career. Tim Cindric is still Roger Penske's guy. It's not like he's leaving the organization. He's still very much a part of the company, just a slightly lesser role. Now, that being said, Austin Cindric last signed a contract extension in early 2023, nearly 2 years ago. These days in NASCAR, it's rare to see a driver contract more than like 3 years in length. So more than likely, in the next couple of years, Austin Cindric will be up for renewal. Will he get it? Probably, but it would be a much easier decision to make if Austin was able to take a big step forward on the racetrack this season. There are some hard truths we have to acknowledge when talking about Austin Cindric's performance. His best year, statistically, was his rookie season, 2022. He had the most top 5s, had the most top 10s, had the best average finish still of his career, won the Daytona 500. Austin Cindric has never been that good since. They swapped crew chiefs middle of 2023 even. Jeremy Bullen's out, they brought Brian Wilson in. They worked together throughout 2024. And last year, Cindric did lead 197 laps total across the 6 super speedway races. That's great. But when you look outside the super speedways, he only led laps in 2 other races all season. Just 2. He led 6 laps at Martinsville in the spring. I don't remember that one. And then he led 53 laps at Gateway over the summer. I do remember that one. That race at Gateway that he won after Christopher Bell had a mechanical issue and Ryan Blaney ran out of fuel was easily, in my opinion, the most impressive race of Austin Cindric's Cup Series career. It was probably the only great performance we've seen from him in his Cup career. I know he's been good at super speedways and he's won at Daytona, but I'm sorry, I'm more impressed by a guy leading 50 laps at Gateway, of all places, and winning there. That's more impressive to me. That's his only great race. One great race in 3 years, and you drive for a 3-time championship organization. These are the hard truths we have to talk about. There are some positives too. Look, I'm not trying to say Austin Cindric can't drive. He obviously can. He's an Xfinity Series champion. He won, I looked it up, he won 11 races his final 2 years in Xfinity, like total. That's legit. You don't do that if you suck. He's good. Guy can drive. But he's 26 years old now. He's entering year 4 of his NASCAR Cup Series career. We need to see a leap. I know it's difficult to operate within the shadows of his championship teammates Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney, but the gap right now is too wide. Cindric needs to close it. If he doesn't, a narrative is going to form over the next few months, over the next year. Is Austin Cindric's job really all that secure at Team Penske? People will start looking at Xfinity, at trucks. Who else is Ford developing? And I know Team Penske kind of does their own thing, but a couple new Ford drivers at Haas, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed. Front Row Motorsports, I know they've got their own Cup Series program, but Chandler Smith is in there now. Lane Riggs looked really strong second half of last season. Ford can always go get some other free agent from a different manufacturer. Like, if Austin Cindric doesn't take a real step forward this year, that narrative is going to form. We already talk about, Alex Bowman. He's the fourth Hendrick guy. Doesn't typically win or run up front as much as his other teammates. If someone's going to get the boot there, it's going to be Alex, right? That's the narrative. At Trackhouse now, Daniel Suarez is on a 1-year deal. Connor Zilic flying up the ranks. Pressure's on Daniel Suarez. The narrative there. That relationship may expire sooner rather than later, unless Suarez steps up. I don't think it's likely Austin Cindric and Team Penske part ways anytime soon, but I'd feel better if Tim Cindric was still in his usual role. The further away Tim Cindric gets, the harder look fans are going to take at Austin and his on-track performance. If Cindric takes a step forward this year, that narrative more or less will wash away. But if he's not careful, the narrative's going to take over. And maybe he has nothing to worry about. Narratives are just narratives. They're just words. It's just what other people outside of Team Penske think of you. Sticks and stones, right? Maybe he has nothing to worry about. But we'll see. I don't think there's any reason to be concerned in the here and now. I don't think anything is imminent. But now the door is open for narratives to form. I hope Austin Cindric's on-track performance quiets those down. Leave a comment down below. What do you expect from Austin Cindric this season? And I know I already asked you, but who do you think wins the Clash? Expect some videos from me Saturday and Sunday. Lots to talk about. First weekend with Cup racing back in months. Gonna be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. I really appreciate your support. I will see you all this weekend. Have a great rest of your Friday, folks. I will talk to you again soon.